Alright, so there was an issue that was kind of not working, I guess. I don't know. It was just an issue before with the checkpoint system. So right now you see how it spawned me there. I don't want to undo the code because that will be annoying to re-implement, but I'll show it. So you see how I hit the checkpoint before onto a different scene. It would load the, so if I died here and reloaded the second level, it would throw me back at the same position. So I'll spawn in back at 132 and 8. But now with how that I fixed it, updated it, it won't throw me back into the same position. Now it's gonna throw me, it won't put me at those coordinates. And to fix that, let me find the checkpoint, see if it's actually working on this one too. So drop down here and died, and then come back over here. No, see, that didn't fix it. But before, it was spawning me into the ground. So let me see what's happening here. Yeah, it's still not working even with it being set like this. So let me troubleshoot this. Okay, so it seems that I have made a different solution to it. Instead of having it where it saves the player's position through the player preps and reloads them. So let me test this out really quick. Alright, so it seems to be working for that. Let me grab a life really quick and then start it back up. So got that. Let me hit this checkpoint and let me get the extra lives or die. It's whatever. So let me load into this one. Oh, okay, so it kind of works, but that's not really. So what I did was just took out the player preps entirely for the checkpoints and just said like the player prep for the first load instead is gonna be like if it's less than 1, which is basically if it's 0, it's gonna put it at like the initial checkpoint, which is like the start checkpoint either way. And then like if it's more than that, it's gonna be that. So what I have to do now is reset it when the player enters a completely new level, so that way they don't start at the checkpoint. Alright, it seems I've got the yeah, it seems like I got it working now. I think I didn't check the exit yet, but let's see here. I'm gonna load this one up, see what happens. Okay, it threw me back here, so I'm gonna go ahead and die. Let's see, go over to the easier checkpoint. So load up here, throw me into here. No errors in the console either, so that's good. Let's see. So I'm going to hit this, die, reload back in. Alright, that's good. Die. And then come back over here, and it threw me back in at ground 0. Cool. Alright, I'm gonna test it out one more time on this level. Or die, because I didn't pick up the fire thing to make it easier. So, ooh, almost fell off there. And still die. Not being careful, but I'm just gonna take the player, and we're going to so got this checkpoint set. We're going to fall off the map and die again, and reload, and it appears I have it fully functioning. Save and load. Now or not load, checkpoint. So I'm gonna go ahead and die and get sent back to the main menu and see what happens. So live, I got 1 left now. So let me go ahead and die to that. Alright, so I'm back at the main menu. I load that up, come over here. Yeah, alright, cool. So to do that was I went and head into the checkpoint manager, and basically I made a public index so that we could be grabbed into the actual checkpoint. But in the manager I had like the scene index, and it's getting the scene manager, it's getting like the active loading scene. So let that compile really quick. Got rid of the commented out code that wasn't going to be used anymore. But yeah, you see right here the index. So like level 1 is going to be 2, and then level 2 is 3. And it doesn't even matter which order they're in, because it's always going to get what that scene index is. So like if I move this scene up here, scene or level 2 to 0, 0 would be its index for the scene load. But yeah, it's basically like yeah. So first load is get int first load, which down here I have it set to player pref set int first load, and that's the manager scene index, and that only occurs when you get into the checkpoint. So when you hit the checkpoint, it's gonna be like, hey, that's gonna be the new load, and then when it starts up, it's like saying, okay, so if it's a checkpoint on a scene that we just died in, it's gonna be like, it's gonna set that to the current scene index. And so when the player reloads that scene, if the scene index is like the player pref first load, it'll do this right here, the second checkpoint load, which, so the first one's over here and the second one's right here. But if it's something completely different, so if I load like level 522, when that I just finished level 1, it'll be like, okay, so the scene index is not the same as the player pref, so it resets the not resets, but it puts the player at the first checkpoint, so it'd be at the start.